Hello, my name is Luciano Stella. In this video I will talk a little bit about the workshop and the talks and presentations that we do about plant alchemy inside our Alquimia Andina lab. So to start, plant alchemy it's a really ancient art in this planet. It has a specific method. So to talk about plant alchemy, it's really important to recognize what it is. For example, this is something that I always say. If when you talk about a carpenter, yes, you are talking about a specific work that a person does, that is working with wood. So when you talk about an alchemist or plant alchemy, you are talking about a specific work and a specific method that a person can do. So in our workshop we will dive inside this method, that basically to recognize alchemical work we need to talk about the spagyric process. This method has a really important steps that we need to follow. So we will talk in a general way about this step. So the first step of this method is the separation. Separation, it's really important because in this part of the process we can see and distinguish the different parts of the being that we are alchemizing and that we are working with. When we separate, we can see the different parts of this being. We use different instruments and different substances to make this separation happen. This separation can take some time depending the method that we use. Okay, so after this separation, the parts of this being, now they are independent, yes, and they can go individually in a purification process. So each part can work individually and go to the individual process that each part should go to a more high frequency, or we can say more pure or more subtle light state of substances. Okay, and now we go to this that for me is one of the step that call more my attention, that is the calcination. Yes, because after the separation it's necessary that all the being goes to this purification. Yes, and when we talk about the plant, so in the separation we, for example, we will go more deep on this in the workshop, but I need to talk about some things for you to understand. For example, in the separation we use the alcohol that we put the plant inside, and the alcohol acts like a solvent to take out the like we can say the soul of the plant. Okay, and separate the soul, the essence, from the body, the essential oils, the resins, all the chemical components. We separate it from the body and we get the dead body of the plant. After the separation, in the purification, this dead body needs to go to a really important process, that is the calcination. Okay, calcination is a part of this spagyria that is really important and requires a lot of fire. Yes, basically inside a specific process, using specific tools, we burn this plant for long hours in really high temperature, like 700 degrees, till all the body is gone, all the carbon. What is happening there, the element, the carbon, goes away, and all the minerals that cannot leave the body, cannot go to the atmosphere, they stay. And we get a really pure mineral that generally it's are other elements like potassium, silice, calcium. It's like a white, depending of the plant, can be a really white ash. So when in this calcination, the plant go through this process with the fire, take out all the carbon, all the shape, all the form, and then after this calcination we go to the next step. That is really important, because meanwhile this calcination was happening, all the substances, all the soul, the essence of the plant was swimming free on all this alcohol, okay? And it was like it's like a dance that happens inside the alcohol with all these resins, and these resins can expand and contract because they don't need to follow the shape that the carbon was given to it, or the body of the plant. So after this calcination, the body, after the purification, can meet again with the soul of this body that was separated from this body. And this is really important. This is the most important part of this process. This is what make all this an alchemical process, the reunion. And here we have the main principle of alchemy, that is, you only separate things when you are planning to put it back together. And that is a great difference from chemistry, okay? That in chemistry we only extract and separate. In alchemy, we separate to purify and put together. So this reunion makes a beautiful meeting between the body and the soul of the plant again. This has, we can talk like a metaphor, and it's beautiful, this reunion, but at the same time it has a lot of chemical things that are happening and make this liquid stronger when this happens, because we have some part of these minerals that are soluble in the alcohol. So basically these liquids becomes really potent and concentrate. In the workshop we will see more about this, and we will see why this happened, why this becomes stronger, okay? So, but now we will go to the next step. So we had the separation, the calcination, the reunion, the meeting, and when a process is done and we have this meeting after the purification, always we need time. Time is really important to make this process stable. So to make this stabilization, we go for an incubation, okay? Incubation, it's like the process when we are in our mom's belly. This process needs a constant temperature. This process needs nutrition, needs care. So basically, what we do in this case that we are talking about Spagyria and the plant alchemy process, we, after this reunion, we put this jar that has inside the salt, the minerals, together with the substance, with the soul, with the essence of the plant. We put it inside an incubation box that is basically a box that has some heat, that you can use a lamp, you can use a specific devices to have a constant temperature between 30 and 40 degrees. And we keep this in a beautiful space for at least 28 days. And we will dynamize this. We will make dynamizations in in this jar, that this jar becomes alive, because what is happening inside this incubation is that the temperature allows the liquid evaporate inside the jar. And it's really beautiful when you can see it in your own incubation box, because you can see how the alcohol goes to the top of the jar and then goes down like a rain. So inside this jar we have like an ecosystem, and this is expansion and contraction allows this union basically, and make. So now we complete this process. We can call this the first circulation of this plant that we choose to make this process. Like everything in life, this has no an end, okay? Like we cannot say that this is finished, because if we want, we can continue doing this purification process. So basically what we do after these 28 days incubation finish, we can filter the part of the ashes that they were now dissolved in the liquid, and we can make another calcination, because the ashes absorb all the impurities that we can have from the liquid, all the solid rest. It's like a sponge that continue absorbing rest of carbon that we have inside the original liquid after we did the first separation. So we do this separation again, we filter, we can use a specific filter or even a coffee filter to have all the ashes, okay? And we burn this in our cauldron, in our device for making the calcination again. And we can see how the color of the ashes start changing, and then we can start seeing that each plant has a color and a specific mineral color that is really, really beautiful. And then we put these ashes again in the jar, and we can continue this process of circulation again and again and again. Each time the preparation becomes more stronger and more subtle, and we have experimented this like in clinic, like watching people, and also there are studies that are made about this process. In plant alchemy, we said that a good spagyric tincture or alchemical tincture, that is this that we will get from this process, needs at least 3 circulation processes, and even you can do more. Yes. So this was a fast explanation, an overview about plant alchemy, and what we will develop more in this talk or in this workshop. If you go to the workshop, we will do all this process, and you will able to see how this can happen. And in the talk, what we will do is analyze and make analogies about this process and our life, because this process, what this really that has value for me is that doesn't matter if you want to work with plants or not, but just observing and understanding this process allows me and allows you to understand the process of personal growth and self-knowledge, because in our daily life and in our life we can find this separation, this calcination, this incubation, this reunion, and we can see this constant circulation. Yes, that when we work with something in us, it's not work, the work never is finished. Then a process can come again in a different way, and we need to see it again. So for me, this alchemical process of plant alchemy helped me to, and is helping me now to see myself. And what I want is to show and help people to make this analogy. So show this process, show these steps, and help and guide and in how to make this analogy. To finish this video, I want to say that spagyric is much more than this process. In my work, in my laboratory, Alquimia Andina, usually what we do is focus on the main physical work to make a good product, and a product that can that has a big therapeutic potential. But spagyric is much more than that. It's a philosophy. It includes astrology, includes astronomy, includes knowledge about the earth, about the seasons, about life. It's really complete, and to dive really deep into spagyric, we need a long time and practice and practice and time and practice. So also all these workshops and talks that I share and I give to people is my intention is to open the view about this, and then the ones that feels the call of continue learning this process is always open this to continue studying together. And this is the magic. This is what makes this process beautiful. And I have been working and talking with people that did this talk or workshop with me, and then they are doing amazing things, and we learn from each other. And in plant alchemy you have a lot of versions and a lot of different paths, and some of us are interested in one, others in other, and then we complement, and then we can continue studying together. Yes, so thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you can get to this talk or workshop if something of this calls your attention.